Ayanokoji is scaled at 9C, which is the tier made for professional Olympic athletes or peak human characters. Characters that stand at the very peak of human capabilities. A tier below superhuman. This is the tier people like Mike Tyson, LeBron James, John Wick, Jason Bourne etc. would be a part of. Characters that stand above all normal humans in physical prowess but just below superhuman. Mikey is scaled at least 9B. Possibly 9A with Dark Impulse, which is the tier for superhuman characters who can destroy or significantly damage extremely resistant materials such as stone, metal or steel, as well as similarly resistant parts of construction such as structural boulders and walls. Examples: Tsukasa Shishio, Thorfinn, Levi Ackerman. Tier 9A are for characters capable of destroying rooms or entire small constructions such as houses or more modest buildings. Example: Oga Tatsumi, Levi Ackerman, with ODM, Baki Hanma. Ayanokoji is exceptionally fast. Possibly superhuman fast. Assumed to be the fastest character in the series, with others like Konji, Yagami, Nanase and Amasawa being the fastest after Kyo. Could have beaten Suzune's brother in a race, who is strongly implied to be the strongest and fastest student in the entire school if it wasn't for another contestant falling over on his lane. Suzune stated that Ayanokoji, even in the race, he was holding back immensely and that he is extremely fast and agile. Ayanokoji also has shown to have abnormal reaction time as shown in his fights with Manabu, Ryuun's gang, Nanase and Tsukishiro. In the Ryuun fight he successfully evaded attacks from Ryuun, Albert, Ichizuki and Ibuki, only getting hit when he wanted to. In the fight with Manabu, although he showed great agility, he still was almost kicked by him when Manabu has far less attack speed than Mikey, who is base subsonic faster than human eye and can reach supersonic speeds. Ayanokoji was also able to evade every attack thrown by Tsukishiro and Shiba until Kiryuun came to help. Tsukishiro is one of the professionals that works for Ayanokoji's father, that is of the same caliber as the professionals Ayanokoji fought when he was still a very young child. Mikey is widely known as the fastest character in Tokyo Revengers with faster than eye attack speed. When Mikey is serious in a fight you almost never see his attack coming, which is why 95% of his opponents are unconscious after the first attack. Mikey once beat all the Toman members in a race and it wasn't close from start to finish, showcasing at the start of the series he is base peak human superhuman like Ayanokoji. Mikey also has subsonic attack speed, catching his opponents off guard with his signature roundhouse kick almost every time unless he underestimates his opponents like he did Shuji Hanma, which resulted in the kick being blocked. But if you noticed during Valhalla arc when Hanma tried to stop Mikey from ending the war, he never saw Mikey's kick coming because Mikey was fighting serious and bloodlusted after Baji's death. This was first example of subsonic attack speed. Mikey was also subsonic when he knocked out Teiju Shiba. This is the first time we got a glimpse of Mikey's dark impulsivity, or another me as Mikey likes to refer to it. He lets Teiju hit him to punish himself for letting Mitsuya get hurt and to stay in control of himself. Then Mikey proceeds to knock Teiju out after explaining his actions. Takemichi and the Valhalla captains seen all events up to this moment, but right as Mikey goes on the attack he disappears from the side of Takemichi, Kako, Inupi, Chifuyu, Hake, Yuzuga and Mitsuya, with all of them having late reactions asking what happened. Ayanokoji is from the demonic 4th generation of White Room students, which had the hardest and most cruel course of all generations. Ayanokoji has also confidently stated that when it comes to the White Room, he is the best student to have ever come out of it as a result of his success. The faculty has been using Ayanokoji as the benchmark for future generations students, including telling them to exceed him as their end goal. As Ayanokoji is no exception, other White Room students like himself had played against a great number of so-called professional instructors and fighters to hone their knowledge, skills, and abilities in all sorts of areas over time. White Room teaches many different fields like the liberal arts, sciences, martial arts, self-defense techniques, and a myriad of worldly wisdom, all of which are at or above the tiers of professional level. The instructors would strongly emphasize their words intentionally, looking to get the White Room students to surpass their potential by fanning the sense of rivalry with their best, invoking and instilling the feeling of wanting to surpass Ayanokoji. Mikey, who was also recognized as a genius-level prodigy in martial arts, was also looked at as a benchmark for his family's dojo and the many students that attended. Having achieved black belt level at a very young age, kids like Baji didn't understand why Mikey still needed to train if he already perfected his technique. What Baji didn't know was Mickey practices multiple martial arts at a time. A lot of fans think Mikey only uses Taekwondo because of his signature roundhouse kick, but that is false. Taekwondo users train in Debunked uniforms which Mikey was never seen wearing. He and Baji wore karate gis in their backstory. Ken Waka firmly stated Mickey mostly kicks when he fights taller opponents to shorten the height difference since his balance, rebounding and flexibility is second to none. All of Mikey's opponents have been significantly taller than him besides Kazutora and Izana. Also, most of Mikey fights end after the first attack is thrown, so we don't get to see his full arsenal because of how strong his attacks are. Throughout Tokyo Revengers manga, Mikey has been seen using karate kyokushin, taekwondo, kung fu, and his signature jujutsu ground and pound style which he used to kill Kazutora, Tyranno South and put Takemichi into a coma for 3 days. The way Mikey raises his kicks and his posture is the same fundamentals as a Muay Thai user as well. Mickey also knows how to use drunken fist, which is a form of taekwondo, and is a master of disarticulation, which is the separation of bones from joints. Now add all of that with the fact he can destroy cars with bad balance on a single kick, and moves at subsonic speeds. Ayanokoji doesn't showcase his full potential, but he has shown us he is a very capable fighter in many different situations, proving he is a formidable opponent for anyone without superhuman abilities like Mickey has. Although Ayanokoji is the strongest student in the school, but his limits were shown when he couldn't deal significant damage to Albert when he initially punched him, which is why he landed the knife strike to his throat. Although he held back when he punched Ryoun to keep him conscious and still broke his jaw. Strong feats indeed, but someone with Mikey's attack potency wouldn't need knife strikes to take down opponents Albert's size when Mickey has one-shot opponents with similar size like Teiju Shiba and opponents bigger and stronger than Albert like Tyranno South. Ayanokoji was able to survive on an uninhabited island for 13 days without consistent shelter and limited resources, and was still prepared to fight Tsukishiro and Shiba, who are professional level fighters. Ayanokoji also endured a stab to the hand without reacting and keeping his usual poker face. Although he didn't fight Housen, he did manipulate him. Ayanokoji has also admitted in detail Suzune Harikata could kill him with a blow to the head with the water bottle stuck on her hand, due to her athletic assessment. Now remember what I said about Mickey destroying cars with kicks and has subsonic speed. Do you see where I'm headed? A stab to the hand without reacting, a great feat, but Tokyo Revengers characters like Baji have tanked knife wounds to the abdomen then beat 50 men. Mikey has tanked multiple metal pipe blows to the skull with killing intent. Takemichi tanked a brick to the face after a gunshot to the foot and was still able to chase Kisaki down to defeat him. Also tanked 3 gunshots from Mickey and still was able to catch him mid-air. Teiju Shiba also was stabbed by Yuzuha and still beat Mitsuya, Takemichi, Chifuyu and Hake. Mitsuya has tanked metal pipes to the skull, all of which are on a higher scale than Ayanokoji's durability and what he admitted could end his life. Only people who have died from blows to the head in Tokyo Revengers are the superhuman fighters like Shinichiro and Emisano. They died, but their brother has tanked the same blows. Next is attack power. This is where a lot of disconnect between fans and this debate happen, and a lot of overhyping goes on. As I stated before, Ayanokoji has strong attack power. He was able to one-shot Ichizaki, Nanase and Nagumo with ease, but it can be said that their durability isn't that high. There was a Quora post stating Ayanokoji kicked the elevator open he was stuck in with 30% power, which is false and has been making non-light novel readers believe Ayanokoji is superhuman, when he is in fact a peak human. The truth is Tsurugi saved Ayanokoji and Ibuki from the elevator when Ayanokoji called him at the last moment. Ayanokoji only stated he could make a hold in the elevator, but never did it. Never stated if he could do it in one kick or multiple. He just said he didn't want to showcase that type of strength in front of Ibuki. If he was indeed strong enough to kick open the elevator, he would have done it instead of almost dying of a heat stroke to hide his abilities. I'm not saying he can't showcase the strength to, but if we are taking hypothetical statements seriously, then Mikey has claimed to be able to defeat 20k men standing in front of 200 enemies. Same exact concept. Mikey destroyed the entire front of a car with a single kick with bad balance or half attack power. If the slower, less durable Ayanokoji is kicked by Mikey, it wouldn't end well for him, even if he blocked it. Ayanokoji's punch power is still fierce and formidable since he has laid opponents down with one punch, but Mikey on multiple occasions has let bigger, stronger opponents who can throw entire motorcycles and church benches hit him without reacting to being hit by them. Meaning if Ayanokoji hits Mikey, the same would happen to him. Mickey wouldn't feel the hits, or react to it, then ask him how he wants to die like he consistently asks his opponents when he's bloodlusted. Just to remind you of everything, this is a summary of why Mikey wins. Mikey is faster, stronger, more durable, with equal stamina, and just as much fighting experience. Ayanokoji is formidable, but his verse has a more realistic human aspect to his, while Tokyo Revengers has time travel, so things like superhuman fighters are expected. I enjoy both of these characters enough to give them an unbiased breakdown. I hope you enjoy. Please subscribe and let me know who you want me to break down next.